Alrighty, what's up YouTube? And I am back for a second episode of Tours of Nations 1.0. As last time, I am still in creative mode in that copy of the original world. This is not the main one. In case you didn't see the first one, this is a copy of Nations 1.0. There's still a fully survival one. This is for tours, mini golf, racing, and tutorials, types of stuff like that. It's not made for cheating. As you can tell, I've made a lot of videos on it recently. It's because I'm going to be leaving and I want to get them out there for you guys. Alrighty, now to hop back into it. Last time we left off in touring my capital and my main city. Now, one thing I forgot up here in the capital, I lied, forgot a lot of things up here in the northern part of my country. The northern part is going to be up here above that ocean you see all the way down south. There's a lot up here that I missed out. Right here where I am, there's a military base, capital military base. This was being built during the time World War I was brewing. When World War I was brewing, a lot of people, I started building bases all over. A lot of other people started building stuff, started arming up, and this is one of the things that I started building. Now, since then, there hasn't been a lot of ideas or building production on it. It's been here and there, nothing too serious. The racetrack's just right over there, so it's not a big base. It's just going to be in this little mountain valley thing. It's got some new ideas going to be coming up, going to be forming and hopefully built. Got a lot of ideas, so maybe that'll become a thing. The embassies finally got built, so it's pushed all the way up against the wall. I got to redo parts of the wall, bring it down and whatnot. This is all going to be cleared out too real soon. So a lot of stuff here in the military base. As I mentioned last episode, I'm not going to go tour it, guys, but in that direction, there's another state. It's just a building. It's my sister's state. It's in that direction. It's not even in this map. I think it's in the next one over. Just one house, maybe a couple of horses. It's really small. Now over here, I'm also not going to go to it because it's quite a ways away. I have another house. It's like a vacation home. It's not even done. It's just another, it's basically my house here just built somewhere else. A little bit bigger, and it's on a beach. So that's kind of neat. But that's going to end it up here for the northern part of my nation. I'm going to see you guys in the States. Alrighty, YouTube, I am back in the States, and I'm starting off here in my military base in Lee's old state. Now, this place has a ton of history, especially with the events following World War I. This is my largest and most active military base in the world. Reason being, I wanted to protect all my states down here. I got Lee State here, and right there's Silver State. And you may see a lot of damage still between the two states. I'll go over that here in a little bit. Anymore, this one is in my control. Silver still owns his state. He's just never on, which is kind of a bummer. As I said, this is the largest and most active military base in the world. This is the only completed ship in the world, as it has the most barracks out of all my bases. It has several buildings still being put up, guard towers. It's got horse stables. It has like an embassy type thing. It's going to have a bigger hotel. I believe that's what that one is, like a hotel embassy thing. It has an enchantment room as well as an underground combat practice facility. This has never been used. In fact, I've never even told anyone it exists. This is it. There is water breathing potions up there, and this is to kind of practice fighting underwater. I thought it'd be cool because there was a lake right here, and I didn't want to fill it in, so I turned it into a practice facility. And that's really going to be it for this base. It's really cool in my opinion. I think it's super neat. I got some bases getting close, though. There's a couple of bases getting pretty big. Landmass wise, this base stretches from this wall here. This island is part of it. This is all part of it. This island is part of it right here. My sensitivity's high. This island is part of it, but it's gonna get mined down. I think maybe a ship will be built there. This island is part of it. These mountains are part of it right here. So this whole mountain range is also part of it. This one as well. I think this one was. I think it ended about right here. Yeah, I think it ended like right here. Was my jurisdiction. Maybe. I don't know, but it's huge. Landmass wise, this military base has only barely begun to spread, and most of this was built after the Grief attack. This wall was never here after the attack. It was started but not finished. I think 3 of these guard towers are new. I want to say these 2 and this one's new. Maybe even that one. Maybe that one. Maybe a lot of them are new. All these buildings, these 3 barracks, the horse stables, these 2 buildings are all new. So yeah, if these are all new, I want to say these 2 embassies and those 2 are new. So I think 4. This building had to get completely repaired. Those 2 barracks had to get completely repaired. Same with this one and the enchantment house, as well as a lot of this wall and some of these guard houses. Basically this entire base looked like this, as well as Silver's house. One day Lee just decided to blow up his place, my base, and Silver's place, and it was a really sad day for me and Silver. Over here is where Lee's state is, his old state. I'm currently in the process of refurbishing everything. Yes, this is gold and diamond. Back when the duplication glitch was going on, he liked to build out of those materials. I'm not sure if they're going to be torn down, and that one probably won't be, but it'll have to be guarded or something. But this might be replaced with white, green, and yellow and blue glass, just because I don't want to have to worry about people mining it down. The damage will probably stay. It's going to be a memorial. That is already a memorial. You can see the glass. This might be a memorial. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that'll be. This is the construction building of my southern states. This is the headquarters of it. Excuse me, voice crack. It's going to get a lot taller. I just ran out of materials. Because right behind it, I don't know what this building was. It might have been a storage building for Lee. Because right behind it is the largest highway built in the world. This highway stretches from over to Silver's Land all the way over to Tearing's Land. I'm going to go ahead and follow it due to the fact that I have to go east to get to my next place. But here it is. This is Silver State. You can see there's the border. The border's actually going to be cut straight through here. There'll be like a little door thing with permission slip or what, I don't know. We'll do like a button or something to get through. And I'm going to finish the border because I want to keep the states independent from each other, even though I own this one now. But this is Silver's Land. A lot of his buildings are still damaged. Some of them are repaired. I'd love to see Silver get online and repair them. He had an amazing place. Both him and Lee had an amazing place. Even though the military base was damaged, I was still upset that he got Silver and himself. They were both they were the fastest growing place in the world. My capital and main city, with the production rate I had, could not keep up with these two, which is saying something, because no other nation in this world could keep up with me. And these two, I could not keep up with, and you know they were fucking amazing. I gotta give him credit. But he's got a nice tree farm, sugarcane farm. You can see there's still quite a bit of damage. Honestly, I want to come on for him and finish building his house. Maybe that'll encourage him. I don't know if he lost all his items or not, but I can try to get some items back for him. I really want to see him get this place back up and running. He has a nice place. And speaking of a nice place, here's his racetrack. He's the only other person besides me and Dan to build a racetrack, and it's a triangle shaped. It's nice and small, but you know what? It's a triangle, and he built one. All right, he's one of 3 people to build one of these, and that to me is a statistic it's huge. Other nations that have gone through amazing stuff can't do this for some reason. They can't build a golf course, can't build a racetrack. He's done an amazing job. I love the track. I'm glad Lee didn't touch it because this is cool. This is one of the coolest things in Silver's Land. Honestly, if Silver would like, I'm 100% down with giving him more land over here because he has been complaining about not having much. You know what? He can expand over the highway. We can build like a road over the highway. I'm 100% good with him owning this over here. I'd love to see Silver come back. Silver, if you're watching, we should hella talk about you making a comeback because that'd be super cool. But we're going to go ahead and follow the highway. There it ends. This highway is going to go ahead and split off into 2 directions right here. It's going to go that way and that way. Because it's got several places to go. The military base there, and there was something over there it went to. I don't remember what though. So, alrighty guys, so right here is where there's another little intersection. If you go that way, it goes even further south towards Spawn. Not very far, but this is going to take you to my southernest border. I'll tell you why here in a second. But this way is going to take you to Tearing State. Now, the reason I said largest highway is because it has a lot of places to go. This corner is going to be rounded out here in a bit, guys. I just hate mining in this desert. I just made it square because it's easy at the moment. And remember, back in the last episode, I said there's a state highway or a state rail that'll take you south. This is where it ends up. It'll take you into right here. And also, there's going to be above ground rail systems up here as well. I'm just worried about the highway because of material transport and people transport at the moment. I should change that into something. I keep forgetting about that. But here's where this highway ends finally, and that was a long journey from here all the way to Lee State. It's actually over it's over one map. Nope. You can see the entire highway on this map. It actually does leave the map. It goes all the way over there. So it does stretch almost a map long because it leaves the map all the way over there. I should have spawned one over there because that's a military base straight that way, and the military base is on the other map as well. So, yeah, that's that. This highway, it kind of got a little funky because I got a lot of water in front of me, so it's going to kind of turn that way a little bit. But here's Tearing State. Tearing is also another one of those people that just disappeared out of nowhere. He was a really good player. He was a good builder as well. I don't know why he left. I guess he was just bored with Minecraft. But he had a little house over here, I want to say. Yep. He had a neat little house. He didn't get a ton done. He had a little bit, nothing too serious. I think, yep, little mine, little farm, nice looking house. And he was one of my first states. I want to say he was my second or third state. Alrighty guys, back to the highway. The highway is going to continue going several directions, and here's why. It's going to have an off-ramp type deal to Terry State right over there. It's going to, I think it's going to hook around that way and go to Bennett State. Bennett is a real-life friend of mine. He quit playing a long time ago as well. He was also one of my first states. I want to say Terry, Bennett, and whoever that was up there who I can't remember at the moment. Those were my first three, I want to say. And all three of them have quit playing for whatever reason. I'd love to see them all come back. But it's going to go that way to Bennett State, hook off to go to Terring's. It's going to go this way. I don't know if it's going to hook around and go that way or just go this way, like cut like over there, make a cut and go that way to the border as well. There's going to be several cuts to the borders. There's going to be a border village right about there. I don't think it started, so I won't go to it. And then there's going to be one that goes straight into Lee's land, which I'll get to next time whenever I do Lee's land. Alrighty guys, we're still back in my nation. This is Bennett's old nation. He had a nice little survival thing going on here in the desert. I call the orange ones the deserts as well. And here's how long it's been since I've been here. The map directly to the right of it, to the left of it I mean, is still completely well, not completely, still unexplored. There hasn't been a whole lot of reason to come here. Terring State is on the other side of that map, so Bennett is really far away from Terring and Bennett are really far away. That's what I was trying to say. I don't know whose name I said first. So, a huge thing about his state is I think he was going to try to do something with farming. Now, guys, I'm going to show you a map of the world of me and all of my states approximately mapped out on the big map. Alrighty guys, we are back, only this time, for the first time in this new series, we are not in my land. That is right, yeah. We are in Dan's land, Hyrule, DP Special. This is his land. He gave me a small area. He actually gave me a large area. He said I can go that way more and that way. But he gave me a large area to build a military base. Now, not being, being me, I didn't want to be greedy and take a ton of his land because I already own half the damn world. I just wanted a little military base. Now, right across this ocean is Dash's land. Dash and Dan have had some beef in the past and are still a little iffy with each other. So Dan built a military base and he's like, yo, you've been asking if you can build a military base. Here you go. Here's some land. And I was like, super cool. So he gave me some land. And Dash, Runty, Dan, as well as the L.O.S. used to be in the south. With Lee in the south now, Runty. I don't know if I said Runty or not. Well, him. You know who? Him. You get what I'm saying. Money. All those nations have had some beef or some issues in the past. This, at the time of the World War, was my furthest south base, which is still miles, not miles, but far, far away from Dash. Dash is at the bottom of this map. He's that green down there. Runty is straight across that ocean to the right there. Lee is up that way some, as well as Money down diagonally, and yeah, so on, so on. This area, this is the furthest south. This is really the furthest south I can say that isn't a war-torn, sketchy area to be in. When you're here, you still feel welcomed. Excuse me. You still feel welcomed. You still feel kind of safe. You feel like it's not going to get really crazy, really bad. But any further south or west or anything, and it just gets sketchy. Especially with Runty, Dash having beef in the past. Dash, Dan, Runty, Money, Runty, Money, Dash. Pharaoh's had some beef in the past. Hopefully all that's been fixed. That's what I've been pushing for. But it was a really good base to have. It's nothing big. It's just got a little embassy, a little enchantment building, 2 little barracks. This is for people to sleep in if I ever get beds, which I don't even have the floors in them yet. A little flag to symbolize. I made sure Dan's flags were taller because, it's his land. It's a respectful thing to do. Little storage facility with literally nothing in it for whatever reason. And that's really going to be it. A couple of guard towers. Like I said, before the World War, this was huge. This was my furthest south outpost. It was a little place to come keep watch. If I needed to station someone in case Dash and Runty were having issues, Dan and someone, I could have someone down here to keep an eye out, basically was the thing. Not that I'd get involved, just to defend. It was super cool. Anymore, I haven't worked on it. There's really no point. I trust all the guys. I respect them. I don't think they're going to get in any more beef. And we'll move on to the next one. Alrighty guys, I am back, and now I am in someone else's land once again, only someone different. This time I am in the southernest most part of the world. I am here in Money's land. Money has been a huge ally throughout a lot of things. He's been a good friend, good trade partner, and overall have never had any issues with him. And so, after the world, I think it was slightly before the World War, he gave me all this land, which was a huge amount of land, to build a base. Especially with a lot of tensions. Runty was a new nation. Runty and the L.O.S. hated each other. Runty wasn't getting along with Dash. They were having issues. Dan and Runty, Money and Runty, Money and Dash, they were all, nothing had really happened between any of them, hence before the World War, but it was all at that, point in time where we all figured something was going to happen, but it was so rough, it was so insane, I actually decided to just stay up north and building stuff up there. Well, I still own the land. He gave me the land. He said, it's yours, build a base, because I had asked him too about building a base, but there had been nothing there throughout the entire war, and really nothing. So come the World War, I was really relying on other countries and other nations to just allow me on their land and allow me to go places, and instead of having my own place to come chill. But this does have a really long wall. It's no buildings yet. It's after the World War, there was a ton of production of military bases. Dan's was really increased. I think Dan's really only had a wall up until after the World War. I built all those buildings in his. I started working on these again. The one by the Capitol was started. This one was started. One by Pharaoh was given to me, so I can build one by Pharaoh. A lot of bases were started. A lot of buildings, a lot of enchantments, a lot of military was being worked on. Until he griefed me and Silver and himself. Once that happened, all of these stopped. All this was done one day. I think it was a couple days after this was done. Lee had griefed, so we had to quit production. All it is a little wall, but he did give me a really decent piece of land. It's all this is part of it right there. The wall will come around here, and I think it ends about right here where it gets narrow. I think this is when the base ends, yes, because this is supposed to be a water passage that I was going to build right there. So it should end here, all the way out from where I am on this map, all the way out to the furthest most edge, right, wow, this is a lot of land, holy shit, right there, where the water starts out there, that little peninsula thing, that's when my base ends, and it goes up to about that river. It'll follow the mountain range. It doesn't go very far north. It basically ends right, let me get to it, right here. When this mountain range ends, it's no longer my base, so my base will kind of curve this way. It'll probably just do this, and it'll probably cross over here in the river and then loop around that. So he gave me a really big piece of land, and I've kind of been poor and haven't taken care of it, so I should come down here and do that. Now on to the final state. Alrighty, I am here back in the final state, which is now Pharaoh State. Now this place may look familiar if you've kept up with the nation's videos. This is the old L.O.S. Now there's two old L.O.S's technically, but this is the newest version of the old one. And it's still torn down if you can't tell. There's still quite a bit of damage. Here's mainly where he's been focusing on. He's building a UN building type here for down here for the southern part. I really don't have anything to do with this except for supplies. He's got the flagpoles here ready for people to come build their flags. And here's the old base. This is where the World War happened. Here's the battlefield. Some fun facts about Brady State is he has the largest sugarcane farm in the world. Mine is probably equivalent to about 1/4 of his. Now that I see it and compare it in creative mode from above, mine is probably about 1/4, and mine is the second biggest sugarcane farm. His is 2 layers, and it's huge. He spent a lot of time on a sugarcane, which is super cool. Money and Pharaoh have a lot of things kind of going for them. They're pretty good allies. Even though Pharaoh's a state of mine, he's still really good friends with other nations, which is what I try to encourage with states. You know, you just got to listen to me if I say don't trade with them, because that means they probably did something to me, which has really only happened once. They got an underground rail system going, and then they have this, which is a land bridge for them to go across. As well as, besides the old L.O.S. base here, which it looks like he's got the trees going again, which is cool. I've been telling him to get that going. It's cool. Glad he's listening finally. No. Whoa, what is this? Right over here is also the old L.O.S. base. There's the other ship that was starting to be built, but it's not finished and probably won't be. This was one of the old L.O.S. states right here, but after the World War it fell apart and he quit getting online. The old L.O.S. base dates back to the Coolguy in Oregon, or Coolguy and L.O.S. War, which was, I still think, the deadliest of all time. I think it is, in my opinion, the deadliest and the most destructive. The World War did not nearly cause this much damage. Me and Pharaoh have tried to turn this into a museum the best we can, but running low on materials since it's such a long walk from my place and just not enough time and ideas, we haven't been able to accomplish much, even though we'd like to. Oregon has come back and visited this place, so maybe he'll come back and help us do it. Oregon's a really good sport about this, so is Pharaoh. They don't like to talk about it, but they're really good sports. Oregon's got a new nation. Hopefully I'll get permission to give you a tour of it. I think it's really neat. He did most of it in like a week of work, on and off, so he hasn't been on much, and he's already up there in the ranks, which is super cool on Oregon. But this is going to be it for my nation, everyone. The only last thing to really talk about is, it's not even on this map, is right up there, those islands right up there. That's where I got permission to build another base. It's separating Coolguy, Hacker, here, Money. It's just got a lot of different nations that have had a past, and I got a permission to build a base there. Really no worries about it though. Coolguy, Hacker, and everyone, Pharaoh, Money, they're all really chill with each other. I really don't think there's going to be anything to worry about. I don't know whose building this is. Might be another old L.O.S. state. I don't know if I've ever seen it before. Neat. It's still in Pharaoh's land, so yeah, right about here is where the bases will be built. Who knows? Maybe I'll keep that as a museum in the military base, because that is in the military base. I want to say, yeah, 99% sure that's part of the military base. That's super cool. If anyone knows whose building that is, please tell me. That'd be cool. But guys, other than that, that's going to wrap it up for the next episode of Nations 1.0 Tours. And this time we are done with the Chicken Nation. The only thing left is to see my foreign embassies. Besides that, all my land claims, states, all that good stuff has been covered. And since I can't talk anymore, guys, I'm just going to end the video. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.